Hi, I'm Dougal from Fudge Addiction, and thank you for purchasing our Make It Home Fudge Kit. Just a little bit of background about myself. I've been making fudge for over 30 years, and this idea of this fudge kit came from our many customers. There wouldn't be a week goes by where a customer would say to me, wow, this is really good, authentic fudge. What's your secret? And I'd always answer that question by three things. First thing is, you've got to have the finest ingredients, and we do. The second thing is you do need some basic equipment, and the third thing is you do need to know the rules of making fudge and the rules of working with sugar. And luckily we've managed to put all that into this kit. So what I'll just do now is just explain the kit, and in a minute's time we'll go and make a batch of chocolate fudge. So in your kit you're going to get three mixes. You're going to get a vanilla mix, and with that you're going to add milk and butter. The mix has been made with vanilla bean. The second one you're going to get is a caramel mix. These are premium fudge mixes. This is from a blend of caramel sugars, and you're going to add milk, butter and some condensed milk. And the third one in your kit is chocolate, and this is a blend of Dutch cocoa powders, and you'll add some milk and butter. So that's your mixes. That's number one. You've got to have the right ingredients. The second thing you've got to have is some basic equipment. And the first thing is a sugar thermometer. You can't wing making fudge. You've got to cook to the correct temperature, and these are good thermometers for cooking fudge. The second thing you'll need is a fudge paddle. These are for hot temperatures, and so you can stir your pot and not get any sugar burning on you. And the third thing is you'll need a brush to wash down the sugars. So that's what we provide in the kit, but what you'll need to provide is a saucepan. And I would assume that in your kitchen you're going to have a pan similar to this. This is 20 centimetres across by 10 centimetres deep. Something a little bit smaller and deeper would be fine. The second thing you're going to need to have is a cup. We've all got a cup because we're going to have to put that brush in there with a bit of water. The third thing you're going to need, once the fudge is cooked, we're going to cream it with a hand mixer. So a hand mixer like that, if you haven't got one of those, a mixer like that would be fine. You would simply pour the fudge into the mixer, and you can do it that way. So I would assume that you should have that. And the last thing is a pan to put the fudge. So that's a 20 centimetre by 20 centimetre pan, and all we're going to do is pour the fudge into here, job done. Very simple, and we'll make delicious fudge. So that's the mixes, that's the equipment, and the third thing is the rules of making fudge. We've put the rules down here to make fudge, and on the back of that sheet will be the formulas for how much milk and butter and condensed milk and all your mixes. So that's your fudge kit. And what we'll do now is make a batch of chocolate fudge. Alright, we're ready to make a chocolate fudge. So out of the kit I've taken the chocolate fudge mix. All you've got to do is break the seal, pair of scissors, cut the top off, and then all we do now is simply put the premium fudge mix into your saucepan. That's that. The recipe sheet will tell you how much milk, so we're now going to add the milk. And it'll also say how much butter to put in. I'm now going to add the butter. That's that. Now one of the first things you've got to do with fudge and all sugar is make sure everything's wet before you turn the heat on. So what I'm doing now is just gently stirring the fudge mix and the milk and the butter to make sure before I turn on my heat. And by the way, I'm using gas here, which is similar to what you would have in your house. If you don't have a gas, electric's fine. But I'm just using a little gas cooker here, and we're going to cook on medium all the way through. For all the fudges, we just turn the gas on to medium. So here we go, we're just backing off a little bit. That's what I call medium. And this will take about 5 minutes to come to the boil. So what we're going to do now is, the most important thing at the moment is to do 3 washes, because we've got to get all those sugar crystals to dissolve. If you leave one sugar crystal behind, it has the potential to crystallise the whole fudge, and you'll have a very poor fudge. So the 3 fudge washdowns are, the first one is once all the mix is settled, which is right now. The second one will be when all that butter is dissolved, and the third one will be when it comes to the surface. So I'm just going to do the first washdown, and then we'll come back when we're ready to do the second washdown for when the butter has dissolved. So all we do is run around the edges of the pot and push all those sugars down into the syrup so it all gets dissolved. And same with your fudge paddle there, a little brush there and a little brush there. So that's that. We'll come back in a minute, and when the butter is dissolved, and I'll show you the second washdown. Alright, we're coming up to the second washdown now, and as you can see the butter is nearly all dissolved. And this is how you stir the fudge. You don't stir it fast, you just do very slow figure 8 paddles like that. So the butter is pretty well all dissolved now. I'm now coming in for the second wash. I have changed my water, clean water, and we just give this a little around the edges, pushing all those sugars back into the syrup. And this is very, very important for all confectionery making, whether it be fudge or anything. This is a very common rule that you should apply. Push all those sugars down, and again, making sure they're off that fudge paddle. Turn it over, like that. Alright, we'll come back in a little sec when that fudge has come to the boil for the third wash down. Okay, we're right at what we call the boiling stage now, so we do the third wash down. Third wash down is, again, here we go, just a little bit around the edges. You notice that my fudge paddle is right in the fudge syrup now. And the final thing I do now is very carefully, now this is hot, so if you've got children you're going to have to be careful here. We're probably about 105, 108 degrees now. I'm just going to run that under the tap to wash off all sugars off here. There it is, nice and clean. That goes back in, and we'll give it one more final wash down. This is the fourth wash down, and then I'm going to clip in a sugar thermometer and cook to the temperature that we'll give you on your recipe sheets. So here's the thermometer, just clips in the back, and up she goes. We'll just see, William, if you can just get a photograph of that, and you see the red rising there.
Yep.
Alright, we'll come back when we reach the required temperature, and then we'll show you how to turn off. Alright, we're about at the halfway mark. It actually takes about 5 minutes to come to the boil and 10 minutes to reach temperature. So we're about the halfway mark. I just wanted to show you, all you have to do now is just give this fudge a very light stir like that every 2 minutes. That's it. You don't touch it. By agitating it, you can excite the sugars, and the excitement of the sugars can cause sugar crystals, so you don't want to do that. So just every couple of minutes, just a slight little stir like that, and we'll come back when we reach the required temperature. Okay, we're just coming on to temperature now, so we're about at the 10-minute mark. Now, to read the thermometer correctly, you've got to get down to a similar height. So we're just coming on to temperature around about now. The red mercury has just hit it, so I cut the temperature. Now, I'm on gas, it's okay for me to leave that. What we want to do now is leave the fudge undisturbed, but if you're on an electric element, I suggest you, something like this, you must remove it straight away and put it on something like that, otherwise the element will keep cooking the fudge. And now what we do is remove this, and we're going to have to wash that ready for when we want to pour the fudge out later on. So that's this stage. We'll come back at the mixing stage, which will be in about another 15 minutes. Alright, we've reached the right temperature now, so what I'm going to do now is remove the sugar thermometer, and just a little trick here, if you leave it in hot water, it will just dissolve the sugars within about 5 minutes. If you scrub it, you'll scrub out the numbers, and after 5 minutes just run it under the hot tap, job done. Alright, we're at the final stage of fudge making now. We've brought this down in temperature, and the temperature will be on your recipe sheets. We're now going to use our mixer, and what we do here, on 1 or 2 centi, not fast, but we just mix the fudge for about 1 minute, then we're going to do 15-second delay wait, and this will take about 4 minutes. At the moment, if you look at the fudge, and I'll bring it a little bit closer for you, you'll see it's quite shiny, but as it becomes fudge, it'll start to go cloudy. That's when you've got fudge, but you will hear the motor change speed. So just a very slow stir around like that. Alright, I'm just going to turn it off for 15 seconds now, and then we'll come back. Okay, we've been going about 4 minutes, so remember that for 1 minute you like that, and it's going, and then turn off for about 15 seconds. If you see the fudge there, you can see that it's all come together now. So it's just a matter of removing the mixer. If you want to add anything to the fudge, this is the time to do it. I'm just going to put in some M&Ms in this, and we'll put some M&Ms on top. So it's just a matter of stirring it with your paddle, and you can see how we've got nice, delicious, creamy, smooth, authentic fudge. And now it's just a case of pouring it into your pan, like so. You've got to move fairly quickly because fudge does go off fairly quickly. So you want to get it in that pan as quickly as you can. No mucking around, no talking on the mobile phone at this stage. Ignore everything. There we go, you got smooth, delicious fudge right there. And for a little bit of decoration, this could be nuts. I'm just doing M&Ms. You can then sprinkle your M&Ms on top. And there we go, folks. That is a beautiful batch of fudge. Alright, we're only about a minute later, and I just wanted to show you, this is the end result. That's your fudge there. That's how quickly fudge goes off, so it does set quite quickly. And this is the end result. This is what it's all about. In here I've made some vanilla fudge, and I'll put some nuts, that's walnuts in that vanilla fudge. I've made just straight caramel here, and I've done exactly what I've done here. We've done chocolate fudge, and we've added some M&Ms. Each batch of fudge makes about 1 kilo of fudge, and I'm sure if you took that to your birthday party, or if you've got a school fete on, you'll be on an absolute winner. They'll love the fudge. Well, we've come to the end, so I've just shown you how easy and simple it is to make really, really, really good, authentic fudge. As I said before, you can order these fudge mixes online, and I hope that you have a lot of fun making the fudge, and it gives you a lot of happy times. So thank you for watching, and I wish you all the best in your fudge making endeavours.